Bull Field, the home of the Green Bay Packers, as today the Packers with a 2-8 record play host to the Minnesota Vikings, who come in here with a 6-4 record. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, and alongside me, a man who's in Pro Football's Hall of Fame, number 19, Johnny Unitas. Well, I tell you, both these teams coming in here with new faces at quarterback. 2 weeks ago, Tarkenton and Dickey went out with broken legs. So we have David Whitehurst and Bob Lee with the starting calls.
Two brand new ones, and everyone watched David Whitehurst play an outstanding ball game against the Washington Redskins. But Bobby Lee has yet to throw his first pass against the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know, John, how quarterbacks like this weather today, but we're going to have about 6 inches of snow before the afternoon is over. The temperature at kickoff time, 26 degrees. They have the heat coils on here. It is melting some of the snow, but it's starting to snow just a little bit harder as we approach this kickoff time. These two teams have been in many snow affairs. Many people recall 1966 when the Packers and Browns in a title game, very similar weather conditions. It's short, and Eric Torkelson's got it for the Packers. And he brings it back out. Let's make that Steve Wagner, and Wagner is dumped in a hurry. The ball is going to be close to the 40-yard line. The Packers will have Whitehurst at quarterback. The running back's going to be Will Harrell. He started in place of Nate Simpson, who pulled that hamstring Monday night, and also Barty Smith. The ball marked on the 37-yard line. Here's Barty Smith, and Smith gets some running room. Jeff Wright, number 23, over to make the stop. A gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5, and boy, the conditions are going to be difficult today. The footing, for example. Whitehurst gives off to Barty Smith. There's a flag on the play as Barty Smith may have gotten a yard, and that's all. Interesting enough, John, both these teams have had a tough time stopping the rushing gains.
It certainly has. As last week we saw that the Peyton ran 275 yards against the Minnesota Vikings.
Offsides, defense, number 75. It's 3rd down.
2nd down and about a yard to go as we spot it from the far side of the field. They're less than a yard to go. Odom and also Ollie Smith flanked to the bottom of the screen. Whitehurst giving off to Will Harrell. He's in trouble, and Harrell is not going to get that first down. In fact, he lost a yard. Carl Eller, number 81, flying over. Boy, Eller this year has been playing well. He has 10 sacks coming into this game, 35 years old. He just seems to get better with age, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Andre Thompson has come in, 3 wide receivers in the game on a 3rd and 2. Whitehurst with his first pass of the game. And Barty Smith, the intended receiver, but Carl Eller got out there. Carl Eller made 2 fine defensive plays back-to-back, and the Packers are going to have to get rid of the football. Manfred Moore, number 36, is back. He was acquired this year from the Oakland Raiders. He's been a fine returner since they acquired him.
Last time the Vikings had a punt, that ran a punt back, was in 1968 against the Washington Redskins when Charlie West went 98 yards.
At the 20-yard line, Manfred Moore, and he draws the crowd as he's short of the 30-yard line. Good coverage that time by the Packers. Eric Torkelson, the first to get down there.
This was Vikings quarterback Bob Lee's 2nd start in 1977. He took over after Fran Tarkenton broke his leg on this play. Tarkenton was 17 of 18 passing for 195 yards, and it was the only significant injury in his 18-year Hall of Fame career.
A day like today, John, the footing is tough. Is injury more prevalent in a game like this?
Well, not really, Gary. The thing that's really tough is your defensive backs must play off of your receivers down there, because the offense has a little bit of an advantage if you're going to start throwing the football because of the slippery turf, and they have to be able to spade off a little bit.
Offense, only 6 men on the line. 1st down and 15.
Well, you have to have 7 men on the line.
Well, it's a little difficult to see right down there, but the offensive men must look at that nose of that football to stay on the ball.
1st down, 15 yards after that step off. Ball at the 26-yard line. Foreman again, and flags everywhere. Both teams kind of on rocky footing here as we start this game. We've got another penalty against Minnesota.
False start. Offense, number 68. 1st down.
The ball is on the 18-yard line. Bob Lee to Brett McClanahan, and Dave Purifoy was through there. Let's look at some of the footing, John, and how difficult it's going to be.
It's going to be tough for the offense and defense both. As you notice, these fellas try to step and move with the ball. A fine tackle by Purifoy right there. He really knocked the ball loose, but the ball was blown dead. Barber also in on the play.
So now it comes to a second down and about 21 yards to go. A loss of 1 to the 17-yard line. Bob Lee, his first pass. Wide open, far side, a completion, and only a 2-yard pickup on the play. Reaction to Brent McClanahan, who caught the ball, but excellent coverage that time by the Packers. Last week against Chicago, he had to throw in some real bad conditions. A windy game against the Bears. Back to throw Lee again. Lee on 3rd and 17, and he's going to go down. That is the 31st sack of the year for the Green Bay Packers, and Dave Purifoy got him. That's his 8th of the year.
Now, let me tell you something. I've eaten the dust of many a rodeo, and I built up some kind of a thirst. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It has a third less calories than the regular beers, and it tastes real good. Light says giddy up to all that flavor, and woe to being filled up. And that ain't no book. What?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
All right, the Packers, after that 43-yard kick, have the ball on their own 42-yard line. Dennis Havig has started at guard, number 62, in place of Steve Knutson. Con Carr, Dick Himes, the tackles. Mel Jackson, one of the guards, and Larry McCarron, the center. The tight end is Rich McGeorge. First down for the Packers. Play action by Whitehurst. He's got a lot of time to throw the ball. It's to Barty Smith. And Smith fighting for the first down. He's got it. The ball at the 47-yard line of Green Bay. Whitehurst gives off to Eric Torkelson, and Torkelson fighting for yardage. And Torkelson picks up 7 yards on the play.
Jeff Wright, number 23, in on the tackle.
They're going to mark it second down 4, a pickup of 6 on that play by Eric Torkelson. Torkelson had the best rushing day of the year for the Packers, 73 yards. This is Barty Smith. Little or nothing on that play. Good reaction that time by Minnesota's Doug Sutherland. He's the biggest man in that forward wall. And, John, that's something about the Vikings this year. They're not as big as they've been in the past. Page is playing at about 230. Marshall maybe at the same weight.
Minnesota has always relied on the quickness, especially Alan Page. Most people always felt that if you're going to do anything against the Vikings, you had to run at Alan Page. He would always catch everything from behind with his great quicknesses, which they all have. Everyone has been able to run against Minnesota so far this year, and it looks like Green Bay is taking a page out of their book and trying the same thing.
Well, you can see the footwear, a real problem today. 3rd down and 4 for the Packers. From their own 41-yard line, Whitehurst back to throw. It's over the middle, intended for McGeorge, but down the field further, Ollie Smith had a better crack at the ball. So it brings up 4th down for the Packers, and Beverly will come in once again. Well, it looks like Christmas time here in Green Bay. Look at them bundled up here. Hardy fans in Lambeau Field. First down at the 20-yard line now for Minnesota. No score. 9:30 to go, first quarter. Bob Lee, the quarterback. He gives off to Brent McClanahan. McClanahan's got some running room. He fumbled the ball. It's loose at the 21, and Green Bay has it. The Packers have come up with it. Bob Barber, number 70, comes up with a fumble recovery. And, John, that's the big break we talked about in a game like today.
And that's been a real big problem for the Minnesota Vikings so far this year is their 24th fumble and the 18th one that they've lost. Jim Carter, number 50, makes the fine tackle right there. Bob Barber is well in on the play. Green Bay has the ball, and it's the first break of the ball game.
The Packers, who have lost 5 in a row to Minnesota, 8 of the last 10. They can play the spoiler role today. Harrell and Smith, the running backs, play action by Whitehurst. Whitehurst near side to Harrell, and Harrell is bombed out of bounds in a hurry by Fred McNeil. It's going to be 2nd and 9. The ball on the 20-yard line. A break now for the Packers. They're trying to capitalize on it on the fumble by Brent McClanahan. Whitehurst. He gives on a delay to Harrell. And Harrell's got some running room, and he's got the first down. Third-year man from Pacific. He's been a very personal performer for this football team, and it's a first down. The ball is on the 11-yard line. Whitehurst giving up to Barty Smith, and Smith straight ahead. And the Packers doing a pretty good job of blocking up front. 2nd down now, 7. They can get a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. The ball at the 8. Here's Barty Smith again. And Barty Smith won't go down. Drags tacklers with him. Barty Smith inside the 5. Let's look from the end zone now and see what kind of blocking Barty Smith got.
All right, here we go. Let's watch Alan Page right here as they kind of double team him and move him out of the hole. Barty Smith picks the hole very good. Paul Krause now in on the tackle. 22 also Alan Page on the tackle.
All right, now here's the situation. The ball's on the 3-yard line. It's 3rd and 2. They can get a 1st and goal at the 1. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. The ball at the 3-yard line. We have Whitehurst rolling out. He's got a block. Touchdown. David Whitehurst, who could run extremely well, got a big block from Barty Smith, and the Packers have taken a 6-0 lead at the 7:18 mark of the first quarter.
Let's take a look at it here. Smith, number 33, on an outstanding block, and Whitehurst just kind of cruises.
All right, we're going to try it again. Boy, what a struggle this is to kick this one. The snap, the kick by Chester Marcole is good. And the Packers have taken, no, wait a minute, it is not. It was wide to the left. It looked like it was through, but it was not. It just grazed the upright on the left-hand side, and that could be a big point after.
Rookie David Whitehurst was an 8th-round draft pick out of Furman. As a senior quarterback, he had 6 touchdown passes and 13 interceptions. This game was his 2nd NFL start. The Packers' regular quarterback Lynn Dickey broke his leg on the last play of the game versus the Rams 2 weeks earlier.
You don't think it isn't snowing here in Green Bay? I think it's snowing even harder if that's possible. First down now. The ball is at the 30-yard line of Minnesota. 6-0, Green Bay. Bob Lee to Chuck Foreman. Foreman stays on his feet. Foreman dropped by Jim Carter. Gain on that play of 7. It'll be 2nd down. A long 3 to go. Give to Foreman. He's got the first down and then some. He breaks outside. Johnny Gray's got him. The 49-yard line. The ball in the Minnesota end of the field. This is McClanahan. McClanahan now finding some running room. He comes into Packer territory. M.C. McCoy, who's vastly improved. 2nd-year man from Colorado. Boy, it's kind of miserable down there on that sideline. John, you were saying you're all right if you're playing, but when you stand around on that sideline.
Oh, the sideline's the worst place to be, and what's really bad is when you go in at halftime and get all nice and toasty, warm, and everything, have to come back out and face this 10-degree weather. You just shiver and shake.
Gain of 3, 2nd down, 7. Bob Tucker again in a slot or wing position to the near side. Foreman again. Got a block. Chuck Foreman now slipping and sliding. He's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd down. A long 3 to go. Sammy White goes in motion. Bob Lee off to McClanahan on the screen. He cuts back beautifully. And he's got, I believe, a 1st down. 1st down, Minnesota.
Well, they had him back in the backfield, Gary, but this slippery turf really enabled McClanahan to break back and pick up the 1st down. Let's watch it as you see the Green Bay Packers coming in. Jim Carter, it looked like he has a pair of skis on there. McClanahan making a very fine move.
We enter quarter number 2 in snowy Lambeau Field. 6-0, Green Bay on top. 1st down now for Minnesota. They have it at the 40-yard line of Green Bay. Bob Lee, play action. Got a lot of time. Throwing down here, wide open, Sammy White, touchdown. Sammy White got wide open, and there was no contest on that one. A 40-yard touchdown strike from Bob Lee to Sammy White, and it's all tied up 6-all.
Let's take a look at it. You see Bobby Lee coming back after a fake to the fullback. Standing backer with excellent protection. Spots Sammy White all alone behind Mike McCoy. As you see, Sammy White going into the end zone. An outstanding receiver.
Now the point after. We mentioned earlier how important it is. The Packers missed theirs. 14:53, the first play of the 2nd quarter. Kick by Fred Cox is on the way, and he got it. And the Minnesota Vikings now have taken a 7-6 lead.
10 years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has a 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now, everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it. Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Nobody seems to be that unhappy. Bart Starr, slowly but surely trying to rebuild this Packer team.
I haven't heard anyone speak against him yet in this whole town.
All right, Fred Cox to kick off, 7-6, and he hit one a little weird, picked up short by the Packers. being brought out now by Darrell Goforth, who is a backup center, and Goforth getting good field position for Green Bay. David Whitehurst going to throw on first down. A screen complete to Rich McGeorge. McGeorge stays on his feet and fights for 3 yards as Fred McNeil is over there. You can see how treacherous the footing is as McGeorge just kind of slipping and sliding that time after he caught the pass. That's his 14th catch of the year. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Whitehurst off to Harold. He fumbled the ball. It's loose. Who's got it? I believe Minnesota's got it. They do. The Vikings have come up with it. So the turnovers are now even. Earlier, Minnesota fumbled, and now it's Green Bay.
Let's watch the handoff and see what happens. He does not get his arm all the way up, and David Whitehurst hit Harold on the elbow.
So it's going to put the ball in good field position at the 42-yard line. Jeff Seaman, the guy from Stanford, he's been playing with injury this year, but he's a fine middle linebacker. Rashad to the bottom of the screen, flanked out. First down at the 42 of Green Bay. 7-6 Minnesota. Give to McClanahan. McClanahan to the outside, and look at him fight for yardage.
Let's take a look at McClanahan. Looked like he left a little early that time as he gets back to the outside. Ed White doing an outstanding job blocking for them. Very good block by Ed White.
Make it a gain of 4. Second down, 6 yards to go. 13 and a half minutes to go before halftime. Lee gives off to Foreman. Look at him slip and slide. He tried to change direction, and look at him fight for the yardage. He's got a first down. Give to Foreman again, and Foreman the big hole. Chuck Foreman got beautiful blocking behind Ed White and Ron Yeri. From the end zone, you'll see how number 73 and 62 block for him.
Let's watch Ed White block on Butler as he knocks it back to the outside. See the hole that Foreman picks back up inside. Good blocking by the offensive lineman.
Bob Lee giving up McClanahan. And McClanahan is inside the 20, and his forward progress close to the 15-yard line. Chuck Foreman now has come out of the ball game. Sammy Johnson, number 48, has replaced him. He's back there with McClanahan. First down. The ball at the 16-yard line. This is Sammy Johnson, the former San Francisco 49er. And Sammy Johnson rips off 7 or 8 yards. Second down now. And again, it's the big fullback fighting for yardage. And did he get the first and goal? He got it. It's going to be a first and goal now for Minnesota.
Take a look at some good blocking by the offensive line of the Vikings. Very good down block there. Sammy Johnson just kind of picking his hole, moving around. Carter, number 50, making the tackle.
First and goal now at the 5-yard line for Minnesota. Bob Lee to Johnson again. Sammy Johnson gets to the 3. So with 10 and a half minutes to go in this first half, the Vikings with a 7-6 lead and trying to build on it. Minnesota has been tough on Green Bay. Of course, when you win as many division titles as they have, you've got to beat the teams in your division, and they've done it 8 of the last 10 years against Green Bay. Foreman, McClanahan, now the running backs. Second and goal at the 3. Chuck Foreman. Boy, there's nothing on that play. Great reaction by the green-shirted Packers. Willie Buchanan came flying up in that left cornerback spot. He was first to get there. Third down, goal at the 3. Lee giving off to McClanahan. He's not going to get it. A fired-up defensive Green Bay is equal to the occasion. They tried a little scissor action in the backfield.
The hole was there, but it was filled very, very quickly. Let's take a look at the plays. You see Bobby Lee spinning around and handing it off. Look at the action. Mike McCoy and Willie Buchanan both up there to stop that play.
So the field goal attempt is coming up. Fred Cox, who's had a tough time this year, he's hit 5 of 12. Playing in his 206th consecutive game. 38 years old. The snap, the kick by Cox is on the way, and Fred Cox hit it. So the Minnesota Vikings have taken a 10-6 lead with 8:42 to go.
Fred was playing in the last year of his 15-year NFL career, all with the Vikings. At his retirement, he was third on the all-time scoring list, even though he only made one Pro Bowl team. A lot of fans may not know this, but Cox was the Vikings' full-time punter in 1963 when he connected for a 38.7-yard average. He was the NFL points scored leader in both 1969 and 1970 when the Vikings finished with identical 12-2 records. In 1972, Cox invented a soft football, which would be coined a Nerf football. He sold the idea to Parker Brothers the following year, and I was one of the millions of kids who owned one.
The ball at the 28-yard line. First down, Green Bay. Torkelson and Barty Smith, the running backs. David Whitehurst, first-year man from Furman. He gives off to Eric Torkelson, and Torkelson protects the ball and spins for some yards. Torkelson's a good man in this situation. He'll hang on to that football. I tell you, your whole game plan's got to change on weather like today, John. You just got to remap everything.
Well, Torkelson and Barty Smith both are the type of runners that are plotters. They're not very quick, not very fast, and they just take the ball and just kind of plot like the old single wing type backs. And these are the type of people you're going to have here today as long as they can maintain control of the football.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Pack. Ollie Smith to the bottom of the screen, also Steve Odom. Whitehurst wants to throw on a 2nd and 7. He's got Odom wide open, and it's deflected. That pass would have been completed, except Matt Blair stepped back, and Matt Blair has been a big play man all year long. He's blocked 4 kicks and has 1 interception. 3 wide receivers, Thompson, Smith, and Odom in. Barty Smith, the only running back. On 3rd and 7. Whitehurst, far side, Odom. Boy, he was covered well that time by McNeil, and also coming up, Bobby Bryant. 4th down. John, you've said many times that one mistake a young quarterback will make is to try to force the ball into some coverage.
Force the ball and also look at the receiver that he's going to all the way from the line of scrimmage. It's a difficult thing not to do. It's something that he has to learn and be picked up through experience, through everyday repetition as he reads the coverage and tries to go to the open man. And we know that Dave Whitehurst has not played, but this is the 2nd ball game. He's practiced, and he's an outstanding young man, and Bart Starr is certainly enthused about this young fellow.
On a 4th and 7, Beverly to kick from the 20-yard line. Manfred Moore is back, and Beverly's doing an excellent job of kicking the ball. Manfred Moore's all the way back to his own 20-yard line. Look at this. That's one of those I dare you type situations, and they got it.
I won't get you anything but put in a hospital trying to jump over top of someone.
You think they aren't cold?
I don't want to see them play those instruments. Those things are probably frozen by now, Gary, with all the snow and the moisture and everything else that's out there.
Bob Lee to Foreman. There he goes. First down. He fumbled the ball. It's first. Who's got it? Minnesota has recovered their own fumble. Chuck Foreman, after that big burst off the side, had the first down, and Sammy White, I believe, comes up with a fumble recovery.
Flanagan makes a key block, knocking linebacker to the outside, opening a hole up for Foreman. You see the tackle, you see the ball loose. Sammy White in on the play, number 85.
Bob Tucker, you see him split to the top of the screen. In motion goes McClanahan. This is Sammy Johnson. And Johnson off the right-hand side. Boy, you talk about tendencies today. They've just hammered that right side. Their right. Green Bay's left side. Dave Purifoy making the tackle, cutting the legs out from under him.
Well, they have Ed White and Ron Yeri, two of their best blocking guard and tackle on the rookie out there.
It continues to snow here in Lambeau Field. The forecast prior to kickoff, 6 inches before it's all over, and it's going to reach that, I believe. 2-minute warning just being executed here. The Minnesota Vikings with a 10-6 lead. The big play in this game has been a 40-yard touchdown pass from Bob Lee to Sammy White. The other story has been the running of Chuck Foreman, 66 yards and 13 carries. The Packers scored first, but the Vikings now have come back to take this 4-point lead. The ball at the 48-yard line. Bob Lee on a 2nd and 6. No place to go. Now he dumps it off to Bob Tucker, and Tucker falls forward what appears to be the first down.
Bob Lee, with plenty of time to throw the football, looks downfield, looking for Sammy White. No one is open. Goes back to an auxiliary man. Bob Tucker, formerly New York Giants. Steve Luke, number 46, making the tackle.
First down now. The ball at the 42 of Green Bay. 1:40 to go. First half. Lee back to throw. Pressure put on by Bob Barber. It's complete. Ahmad Rashad. He is dropped immediately at the 30-yard line. Well, Bob Lee is really having some game today, John. He's 5 of 5 now for 68 yards on that last pass completion to Rashad.
Well, this, we mentioned before the ball game that he has played NFL for 9 years and has never thrown a pass against the Packers. And so far, as you mentioned, he's 5 for 5.
The ball is just about on top of the 30-yard line. Minnesota with a 10-6 lead. You see the time in the right-hand corner of your screen. The Vikings doing a good job of throwing the ball. A 40-yard touchdown pass, Lee, 5 of 5. He gives off to Foreman. Foreman already was 66 yards, and Chuck Foreman goes for 5, maybe 6. Jim Carter making the stop. Chuck Foreman's having a big day here, and you might expect him not to have under these weather conditions. Second down, 5. There's an old argument that's always brought up, John. Who has the advantage, the offense or the defense, in playing conditions like today?
Well, I feel that the offense, especially if you're going to throw the football, has the advantage because defensive men have to play off, be concerned about not slipping or falling down and giving the offense an easy touchdown.
Second and 5, Lee, intended for Robert Miller. Third and 5, give to Foreman. Foreman's got the first down, and Foreman's to the 15-yard line. Johnny Gray dropped him, time being very important in this game, and Minnesota now has used their second timeout.
Let's watch as they continually run the right side behind Bronieri and Ed White. Good blocking, good hole, and fine running by Foreman as he picks up the first down.
We have a change now. Clarence Williams replaces Butler as they continue to attack that side of the Green Bay defense.
Looks to me like they're going to have to change their defensive strategy against the Vikings. They continue to run that right side. They'll run them right out of the ballpark so far. That is the only place that they've been successful, Gary. Of course, it's over there against the rookie.
Well, Chuck Foreman came in here with 768 yards, third in the NFC in rushing. Third also, actually tied for second in catches, but third in total yardage in receiving. And sixth in scoring. I don't know what else he could do.
He's been doing that since he got into the league, I'll tell you that.
All right, first down now, just outside the 15-yard line. Rashad coming to the near side along with Sammy White. They're flanked out. Bob Lee, 5 of 6 in the passing department. Sammy Johnson, nothing. Boy, Tom Toner sealed that off, number 59. He came in and knifed in, and Johnson had no chance, no gain on the play. And now with 36 seconds, Minnesota running out of time. They have one timeout remaining, but they're not huddling. They're ready to go again.
Watch Toner on that play as he closes the hole.
You see the time ticking away. Lee to throw, Sammy White. Third down, Sammy Johnson fighting for the yardage. He's not going to get much. Going to bring up fourth down. The field goal team will come in as the time winding down. Minnesota now will use their third and final timeout to stop it, and they do. He announced his retirement this week. Fred will hang it up after the 77 season. What a season he's had, or career. He's 15 years with the Vikings. Five seconds left here in the first half. This is going to be now a 30-yard field goal attempt by Cox. Cox kick on the way, and Fred Cox got it. A 30-yard field goal by the venerable veteran.
If you can spot it through all this snow, we'll be very fortunate. The ball, as you see, goes up very, very quickly. Fred Cox puts it right through the middle.
This was all of the scoring in the game that totaled only 121 net passing yards. Amazingly, the Packers didn't commit a single penalty while the Vikings ran the ball 55 times and only passed 8 times. Vikings quarterback Bob Lee only passed the ball twice in the second half as he finished with 5 completions and 8 attempts for 68 yards, 40 coming on his touchdown pass to Sammy White, who led all receivers in the game with 40 receiving yards. Only 3 receivers topped 25 yards, and there were only 11 completions in the game. Packers quarterback David Whitehurst completed 8 of 23 passes for 75 yards, 2 interceptions, and he was sacked twice. The leading receivers in the game were Vikings running back Brent McClanahan and Packers wide receiver Ollie Smith with 2 apiece. The Vikings' Chuck Foreman was the star of the game with 26 rushes for 101 yards. He was the difference maker in this Vikings 13-6 win.